Let's get started.
The truth that sets you free may also tear your life apart.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the find of the century.
here, man, with this complaining about my damn 20-minute intros. The intro is designed to be 20 goddamn minutes. Because it gives you time to get in here and chill and relax and get your shit together so we can take a ride all the way through. Okay? That's the point. Giving you time, you Negroes time to get into the lobby. If you would much rather I didn't, then I could just start the show and just pop right in with my goddamn head. But I didn't figure that's what y'all want to do. I figured y'all enjoyed the little funky ass car show as much as I enjoyed putting it together. I actually have that car. It don't look like that. I have one of those. Always wanted one of those. The Volvo wagon, always wanted a Volvo wagon. Never got one. Almost had a 142 two-door one of those. Loved that color. Painting my T-Bird that color. Had a Z. Had 5-pin wagon. I had one of them. Yeah, Volvo two-door. Somebody turned that into a two-door. I know, Will. But real talk, I want y'all feedback on that. That's. I thought I was doing something. Shit. I really did. I thought I was on to something with my shit. What's happening? Keep dropping the tracks in the intro. Thank you, Jimmy. I believe you mean keep it like it is. Yes, is that what you're getting at? All right. Well, welcome to Giraffeballz, y'all. Until I get my camera situation figured out, I'm gonna roll like this. Working on a new logo. Shout out to Zeros, man. I got dude is whooping ass on a logo, and I think he and I have been playing some handball back and forth, kind of playing tennis with this idea till we get it down. And I think y'all gonna like what's coming up next for the Giraffeballz logo, and I really believe it. Yeah, your man Zoe. Yeah. Okay. It was good earlier. Yeah, well, yeah, but like I was saying, man, I had to move. It's either move Giraffeballz to now or stop because I have to work on Wednesdays. So that kind of shot it in the foot at noon, which was fantastic because it gave me time to edit and do other shit, but I don't really have that time now. What we're gonna be getting into today is, and put a P21 in the chat if you are down with Andrew Tate, if you know who Andrew Tate is, so that I know who it is I'm talking to and what it is I'm talking about. You understand? Let me know if you know who this dude is. If you are aware of Andrew Tate, if you know of his ideas, his teachings, his podcasts, all that there kind of shit. If you are up to speed on my man, Mr. Tate, I am a huge fan. To be honest with you, I honestly, and it's rare, and I would, love for somebody, if it exists, to show it to me. But it is rare that I come across an individual that I speak this highly of 100% or this close to 100%. I am close to 100% in agreement to what Andrew Tate has said that I have heard, so much so that so much so that I challenge you to come up with something that you've seen on video, not in print, in video, that Andrew Tate has said that I disagree with, or that you think I might. He is the will. He gets that big of an endorsement from me that I don't think you can find video of his that I dislike. Well, this dude has been taking heat lately, and for years he has been the man on social media. He has been that dude on social media for quite some time now. And I just got hip to him about I'm gonna say maybe a year ago. And then I just started binging shit he was on and people he was with, and I real talk. Zero says red pill. Yeah. And if you know more about the red pill movement, or you want to involve that conversation, once I bust it open in here, let y'all in the room, please do. But I think the spot where Andrew Tate most impressed me, he impresses me most in general, rather, is when he is under fire. You talk about articulate, intelligent. This brother, when his feet are put to the fire, he does not in any way get frazzled by detractors or by the interviewer or antagonists. He's not frazzled at all. He's on some to be honest with you, imagine if Jordan Peterson was cool, because Jordan Peterson got a lot to say as well that makes a lot of sense. He just ain't cool. Andrew Tate is a cool motherfucker. And also, and I guess, you know what I'm thinking about? One of the reasons I really like this dude is he likes all the shit that I like. He's a kickboxer. He's a car collector. He tells the truth. You listen, he referred to the Matrix. Referred? He calls this system the Matrix. Oh, Frank White, he calls it like it is. My man Will says he comes off as arrogant to me, but what do I know? I don't really follow him. I see his clips occasionally. Well, Will, if The Matrix is your favorite movie, then you really, really need to watch some more Andrew Tate and live with his arrogance. Because to be honest with you, I have a bit of bad news. I too am arrogant. Oh, I am such a vain, arrogant son of a bitch that it is killing me not to use the camera. It's killing me. I'm going to see if my shit goes down. Y'all tell me if I'm looking glitchy. If I'm not, I'll stay up. I'm that arrogant. And The Matrix is one of my all-time favorite movies, too. But dude is just such he's unflappable, man. He's unflappable in his shit, which I like. And I'm not telling you to which I like. No shit I like. I'm not telling you to follow anybody implicit. Don't follow me implicitly. Cortez, I don't want you following me implicitly. KRS-One, I don't want you following him implicitly. Don't follow anyone implicitly without doing your own research. Follow people comparatively. Compare your shit to what you find to be the truth outside of research in normal channels, outside of broadcast media, which we're going to get to in a minute, is his big problem. Outside of that, find your information. Get what you agree with and move forward from there. And I understand, Will, I get it that you don't follow this dude. And I mean, cool. You know, do what you do or don't. But I'm telling you, in the 24 hours that you have to live each day, subtract your sleep time, subtract your work time, and take a little bit of time to watch 10 minutes of Andrew Tate and get back to me.
That's racist, Piers. Cancel Piers Morgan.
Okay.
Are you good, Piers?
Well,
Are you going to destroy me?
clearly from this opening, better than you.
Let's see, I guess, aren't we?
Okay. Let's be aggressive, shall we?
Now, I want you to listen. There's another reason Piers Morgan is a bit of a punk ass to me. I want you to listen to Piers Morgan and how he starts out talking big shit. Back that up a little bit. He starts out talking big shit and how as Tate progressively whoops his ass on the chessboard, his shit talk diminishes.
Okay.
Are you good, Piers?
Well,
Are you going to destroy me?
clearly from this opening, better than you.
Clearly from this opening, better than you.
Okay. Let's be aggressive, shall we?
School chess champion, eh?
Mm-hmm. It's tense.
Certainly.
Lennox Lewis was better than you when I played him.
Was he?
Well, he beat me 39 times out of 40 check.
Yeah, he is a good game, I heard.
Time to get aggressive with you, Mr. Tate. Show you in a toxic chess masculinity.
Well, the world's been pretty aggressive with me lately, Piers, so I'm used to it. It's fine.
Aw, this fucking sucks.
Okay.
Oops, apologize.
On we go.
Why do you think the Queen?
3:45.
Why do you think the Queen gets to jump across the board and the King doesn't?
Because it's sexist.
Game of chess is sexist, but perhaps it reflects life, Piers. Haven't you ever thought that when you look at a yacht in Dubai?
You're running out of time. Stop stalling. I know what you're
Fine,
doing.
I'll just take her.
Oh God!
I'll just take her Queen.
See? Talk
Damn
all
it.
that
I was trying to
shit.
give you a little speech there. You didn't want to listen to it.
No,
I was
I
trying to
didn't.
tell you when you see a yacht in Dubai, the girl just gets an Instagram invite, gets to jump right on board. She
So
gets to run across the board and do whatever she wants, but the man has to get there a square at a time. The man had to buy that yacht. That's the difference between being a man and being a woman. That's why the Queen gets
You
to
know
do how
what?
she does.
A chivalrous man just always lets ladies go first.
Life and chess
That's why I
reflect.
let you go.
It does.
A chivalrous man just.
Run across the board and do whatever she wants, but the man has to get there a square at a time. The man had to buy that yacht. Run across the board and do whatever she wants, but the man has to get there a square at a time. The man had to buy that yacht. That's the difference between being a man and being a woman. That's why the Queen gets
You
to
know
do how
what?
she does.
A chivalrous.
Now, Piers Morgan is not stupid. Piers Morgan is educated. Piers Morgan is worldly. Piers Morgan right here is a deflecting ass punk. The following has nothing to do with the conversation.
Chivalrous man just always lets ladies go first.
Life and chess
That's why I let
reflect.
you go first.
Life and chess reflect, Piers.
I made a catastrophic error, but I'm bouncing back.
You lost your queen to somebody could play talking shit with your punk ass.
I always accidentally take someone's chick.
3 minutes.
I don't even mean to. It's just like, oops.
Still trying to talk
You need to
that
stop
shit.
knocking my pieces over like some.
Thug.
Yeah, exactly. He's not
Look at that
getting in
shit
my
right
head.
there.
Yeah, exactly. You need to stop knocking my pieces over like some.
Thug.
Yeah, exactly.
Complaining about his
He's not getting
pieces
in my
because he's
head.
getting his ass whooped.
Talking to me saying you're getting in my head.
How do you think chess reflects life?
I think that it's all about strategy.
Correct.
That if you're good at chess, you can be good at pretty much anything because it's about thinking ahead, it's about planning, it's about relentless practice.
And you know what else is beautiful about chess?
Mhm.
If you lose, somewhere you made a mistake. There's no luck.
Absolutely right.
In chess, even if it's the smallest mistake, somewhere it was your fault. It teaches absolute self-accountability, which
Yeah.
is something that we need a lot more of in the world today.
That is true.
And that's why chess is so important. You can take my knight if you want.
Okay.
You don't want it? Why don't you want my knight?
Because I'm playing a long game.
Thought you'd want it. I'm gonna leave it there in case you take it anyway.
Okay. I don't know what you want me to do. I'm not going to do it. Actually, I will do it now.
Check.
Yeah. Now he looking at the end. You talked all that shit. And now here he is standing there with a chunk of your ass in his hand. His foot in your sphincter up to his hip. And what do you say?
Check. Check. Check.
How long? I need to buy some time here. I need to buy some time. This is really playing well on radio, by the way. Damn it! I'm screwed. Screwed.
Don't say that.
How long have I
Piers.
got? 1
You
minute
need to
12.
Believe in yourself.
Oh, I never ever give up.
Believe in yourself.
I do
Piers.
believe in myself, thank you.
Self-belief is important.
I do believe in myself, but this has not gone well. I'm quite good at chess, I'll give you that.
Well, in the chessboard of life, I've done pretty well.
Believe in myself, thank you.
To
12.
believe in
Oh,
yourself.
I'm screwed.
Don't say that.
How long have I
Piers.
got? 1
You
minute
need to
12.
Believe in yourself.
Oh, I never ever give up.
Believe in yourself.
I do
Piers.
believe
Don't say that.
How long?
Piers.
Listen to this. Listen to the reality he brings to believe in yourself.
Screwed. Screwed.
Don't say that.
How long have I
Piers.
got? 1
You need
minute
to
12.
Believe in yourself.
Oh, I never ever give up.
Believe in yourself.
I do believe in myself.
When you screw yourself on some dumb shit, it ain't got shit to do with belief in yourself. Not a damn thing.
Thank you.
Self-belief is important.
I do believe in myself, but this has not gone well. You're quite good at chess. I'll give you that.
Well, the chessboard of life, I've done pretty good. I've done okay.
Check. The question is, can you beat me in time? You've only got 50 seconds.
Check. That's interesting.
Yeah. I don't think you can.
Still talking shit.
Mate in 2, Piers.
He could have pulled
You
the
can have
rook
that.
down
You're
and
not
got
a
on.
mate in 2. Check. Good game, sir.
Well played.
Maybe it's just because I don't like Piers Morgan. Could be that. I really don't like Piers Morgan. But I want you to check out the Piers Morgan interview with Andrew Tate, where he destroyed Piers Morgan's ass too. Whooped his ass first. Whooped his ass worse than Jordan Peterson over there left hooking and right uppercutting these funky ass journalists that come at them with this nonsensical bullshit. That was number one. I didn't see the Just Pearly Things interview, and I really, quite frankly, don't want to sit through it. I invite you as well to check out your man on the BBC interview he has with this interviewer, Lucy Williamson, excuse me. Lucy Williamson, let me be clear if I'm going to use her name, is, in my opinion, everything, with the exception of violence and murder, that is wrong with humanity. Everything. And you go back and watch for yourself. Just remember that I said this, that Lucy Williamson is a walking metaphor for everything, with the exception of violence and murder, that is wrong with mankind. Not women, mankind. Not the British, mankind. Not white folks, mankind. Arrogant, half-cocked, haughty, misinformed. Yes, an arrogant, half-cocked, haughty, misinformed little minion of a shrew that came at this dude. Just a damn minion. Just a minion. Just hell-bent in her articulation on making my dude Andrew Tate look like what he had to say was inaccurate, being very snippy, and they're just a million votes of Jilted, I am woman, hear me roar. We've been done wrong and we got your ass now lightning. Looking for a place to strike. Just wanting to strike a blow for the women's movement. So bad. So bad that you prepare yourself like a hysterical female. The BBC allowed you to play yourself and the movement, the women's movement. You damaged it. Not that I believe in it for my people anyway, because I believe the women's movement here in America, Lucy, is about the white woman being upset for not getting her fair share of what her man stole from the Indians. Pretty much. But for that little movement, you gave it a black eye. Because either you've never seen one or you know nothing about being, or somebody lied to you with regard to your being a journalist or journalism. You know nothing of journalism. If you don't do your homework, you couldn't put your haughty ass, opinion aside. Do you understand? In order to be a journalist, I'm sure they teach you this in school. That's the first thing that has to go as a journalist. Is your subjective opinion about whoever it is you're going to interview. That's the first thing that goes out the window. Yours didn't. And unfortunately for you, the internet's forever. Which means we all got whatever we all put on the internet for us all. Which means forever, this interview isn't going anywhere. And neither is this scolding.
So just to put on the record then, you said that you've invited us into your house.
Correct.
We're here because you're under house arrest.
Correct.
If you were free to leave, we would have negotiated a more neutral setting.
Don't you think, as the BBC, it would be very interesting to come here and discuss the fact that I was put in a dungeon for 92 days and then locked in house arrest without charge? Don't you think that's a far more interesting conversation than all YouTube? Don't you think that would be interesting?
You're here under house arrest because there's an ongoing investigation into rape and human trafficking allegations against you.
Correct. I've been incarcerated without charge. Don't you think it's been dropped? Correct. So I'm incarcerated without charge, and I think that would be a far more interesting conversation. And I guess Julian Assange is incarcerated without charge, and nobody's interested in that either. So if you actually want to do some genuine journalism investigation, you can talk about the fact that an innocent man who's yet to be charged with a crime has had his liberty deprived. And I think that would be a far more interesting angle than talking about me being the most dangerous man in the world because I own a car.
And this question about schools being very worried about your influence.
Yes.
Boys in primary school, or boys as young as 11 are quoting you at school, attacking girls, refusing to respect female teachers.
Yep.
Would you like to say anything about that?
I'd like to say a lot. First things first, as I've repeatedly said, and the only reason I keep repeating this is I am a positive force for the world, and I teach children discipline. I teach the world discipline, male or female, of any age. And a lot of women listen to me as well. 40% of people who listen to me are actually female. Secondly, I do understand with my massive influence, and I am now the one listening to what's people on the planet, that I do have to be slightly more careful with things I say. I'm not going to disagree with that. The idea that I said something 5 years ago on a video that got 300 views.
So what do you mean, being slightly more careful?
I'll give you an example. Some of the jokes I made 4 or 5 years ago on a YouTube channel that got 300 views, I would no longer make it.
Like what?
Like the OnlyFans joke, the one you mentioned, repeatedly. She said, my man's car is my car. And then she said she did OnlyFans. And I said, what do you saw on OnlyFans? She said, my tits. I said, well, those are your man's tits. As a joke, ha ha ha, everybody laughed. The fact that I could do that on a podcast 5 years ago and only got 300 views, now I understand I'm the most influential man on the face of the planet. planet, I would be more careful with certain things I say. That doesn't mean the things I originally said were genuinely out to harm people.
Do you really believe you're the most influential man on the face of the planet?
I'm the most Googled person on the planet.
Do you believe you're the most influential man on the face of the planet?
I'm the most Googled man on the planet.
I think we're done.
That haughty heifer right there is boring in the sack. There is no way that Lucy Williamson is fantastic in bed. She's got to say. That haughty heifer right there. Ugh. Ugh. She had no intention. I'm not going to believe you. Go watch the video. She had no intention ever of being fair to this dude. Talking about his time in prison. That would have been interesting. Just a couple of minutes. Couple of questions. Let's ease into your little axe to grind there, Thin Lizzy. We could just ease into it. But no. You want to jump off the deep end, and I tell you where that comes from. It comes from being able to deal with the common man that she interviews in that fashion. Common interview, the kind of common interviewee. She usually has her little funky ass talking points, gets some frazzle, talks over him, and keeps it moving. He wasn't having it, and she was in his house. That's KO number 2 that I've seen. If you know of any others, I want to see them. But this one was different. I do believe you are watching the downfall of mass media. Mass media is finally getting the shit beat out of it. Because there's no longer just this 2 places to get your shit. There's no longer a couple of newspapers, a couple of radio stations, and a couple of TV stations. The genie is out of the bottle. And if you're smart enough to take every and this may I'm gonna date myself here, and this may put some of y'all out of the running, but are you familiar with the transparency sheets back in the day? Remember they used to have the overhead projectors that would project light down here, and then or light would come up through the transparent, go up through this magnifier and hit the wall, and it would be this big presentation. Does anybody remember that? Put a P21D in the chat, or a P21 in the chat. Okay, I'm talking about old school, back in the day, school. Okay, if you remember that kind of shit, Frank Zero, yeah. Okay. Imagine every piece of information, every video, every comment. Imagine for a second, Top Shelf, that every video, every piece of information, every article about any subject that you wanted to pick, by subject, you could take all of those transparencies and lay them on top of each other. The shit in the middle would be the truth. And as you work your way out to the fringe, you'll find the bullshit. I'm saying lay all those transparencies down and lay down differently on an opinion. Take the opinions from where you always get them. Take the opinions from where you never get them because you don't like them or whatever. Yeah, the big gray joints, zero. Lay all of those down. And listen to what rings true to you. And then take that through line that rings true to you and test that in places. Don't yourself out your own shit. That's what just happened, y'all. Opinion blender. I love it. Absolutely. Put your shit in the opinion blender and see what you come up with. Don't just take your information from any one area. And this is what is so dangerous to mass media. Mass media took a big hit in this fight. First off, the BBC got dog walked. I can't even believe y'all brought that soapy ass broad out. Ooh, how watery was Lucy Williams? Watery. She got her ass handed to her. Ugh. Oh, and did you know you was coming to work today? What a hag. Yeah, you look like a hag in there. Did I say hag? Just because I meant hag. In there. Go look at it. Y'all look at it. Tell me she didn't look like one of them haggard broads working the kitchen on Downton Abbey. Tell me, yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna bring her up here real quick. Since, I'm being funky. Since it's me. Yeah. Okay. Y'all tell me. If you tell me this heifer right here does not look like she auditioning for Downton Abbey. That's how she showed up. You tell me she don't look like an 18th century white woman. Yeah, damn. I say that's God's way of getting you back for slavery. That's why white women look old fast. That's what your ancestors part of slavery. Because what you did was just as evil as what your man did. So God make you look old fast. It's just a curse. That ain't nothing bad to say about you. It ain't nothing I'm wishing bad on you. Just prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, Lord Greg. I ain't wishing no harm. I just say you're wrong, Jeff. And here's our proof. Okay? I have to look like Scott Glenn in the face. Y'all know who Scott Glenn is? Y'all know who Scott Glenn is, right? Okay. Yeah. Let me get a. Yeah. Let me bring Scott Glenn in so y'all understand. You trying to tell me she don't look that? She look just like that man. That could be her daddy. It would explain a lot. But wow. Yeah. Bruh, I have no doubt that you on my team, Lord Greg. I mean, look, shit. You tell me that this broad here, okay, won't you tell me that them two people don't look alike? I'm wrong. Okay, I'll tell you who else she looked like. And I know this is juvenile, and that's why I'm doing it. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. I want y'all to tell me that I'm tripping. It's just you, Jeff Brown. You are just such an asshole, Jeff Brown. You are so far off, Jeff Brown. You smoke too much weed, Jeff Brown. You spend too much time talking about people, Jeff Brown. How do you come up with this shit, Jeff Brown? Why would you even think this kind of shit, Jeff Brown? You give me all that shit, but I want you to tell me that this broad here does not look like this broad right there. Tell me that don't look like her. I'll tell you something. God ain't pleased with you. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Looking like Mick Jagger. Yeah. That broad got her ass toe out the frame. Now, back on the road. We are looking at the last gasp of regular media. Am I looking all mosaic-y now? Regular media. Yeah. She looked like Mitch McConnell. Yeah, that's Mitch McConnell in the face looking. Yeah. Wind up looking like Mitch McConnell in the face. That's the way it goes. But yeah. Because you are looking at the end of the reign of the old fashioned, you are looking at the end of the ways of the old fashioned. Kels, yeah, regular media is all but dead. Yeah, like a shellless turtle top shelf, absolutely. She does resemble that. You're looking at the end of social media. You're looking at the end of my era. You're done with your Uncle Jeff's era. Your Uncle Jeff's era is gone. That shit gone. The believe everything you see, and please understand that there was an entire economy built on the ignorance of the common man. An entire economy. Johnny West, the car business was built on the ignorance of the common man. Its structure. Yes, the automotive industry owes its success on the level that it has had. We never should have made that many cars. All those cars we made in the 20th century, we shouldn't have. We should have made about 40% less cars and forced people to hold on to the cars they had and slowed down the automotive industry. There should have been a throttle, but it was all about making money. All that's dead. That whole industry of buying a car, selling a car, buying a house, selling a house. How to use credit. How to invest. All looked at as the dark arts when it came to the common man. And it was easy to do because all you had to do, we've all heard the phrase, if you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book. But that wasn't just niggas. Oh, it was white folk wasn't reading either. I'll bust these doors open, y'all can bust on in here. Let's see what you write. CNN, Fox, all those other news places are always going to be behind, and they get paid for their info. Oh yeah, but it goes way deeper than that, Brother Kills. But yes, you are right, but it's way deeper than that. You cold-blooded when you can write a law when people are asleep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because the average individual is not involved enough. Myself being guilty of that. Capitalism, no, they want people to have cars. Sit tight, Johnny. No, Kells, of course. I don't argue you that. That is the problem. Because of capitalism, we are in this position. If only 5% of the cars that were necessary to be made, as in you wreck one, set one on fire, unrebuildable, unusable, 5 to 10% more cars than that were made. Or we'll say even 30% more. As opposed to the present 100. Sure, used parts would change, certain things would change. But we wouldn't have near as much waste because the business owners, the car industry owners wouldn't have as much profit. Me bring my man Johnny West on up in here with the dope ass avatar. Yeah, but when I open the doors of the church, it's all avatars, y'all. You gotta rock with your avatar. And Johnny West, you killing it. What's happening, young man? What's on your mind?
Nothing much. I was just tuning in. Wanted to chime in on what you were saying about with the whole, I guess it's misusing the last. I don't even know how you can say. I'm high right now, but go back to what you were saying. Last part. The last part you were saying about capitalism.
Oh, You mean about the we made too many cars? Sit tight,
Yeah,
Bruce. Okay.
yeah, pretty much. What I was saying is, if we would have put that same energy into like actually making things that would like last longer, like the pyramids and a lot of the ancient things. It's funny, me and my dad was just having this conversation before I came on for real. And we were talking about how like just picture like if we, instead of going the capitalistic way, we would have went like the environment friendly way, like they did back in the G. We would probably be light years ahead. But because Rockefeller and them was like, nah, you know, we want to make profit off all this shit. It like stifled us as a human race.
Oh, well, here's.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me slow that down, and then I'm going to open up the entire floor. Here's the issue with what you're saying. You're implying that we would live in a society where the fastest always won the race. The best person always got the job. Brother, do you understand what happens to white people if that happens?
Yeah, I think that's why they trying to put the hold on AI the way that they're trying to put the hold on AI, because it evens the fucking playing field. Like, and motherfuckers really don't understand what AI is. It evens the playing field if you know what it is. So like, that's why they're trying to really, really make you afraid of it, because it really, really does even the playing field on all aspects, on everything.
Okay, here's my issue with that, and then we can open the floor up and go in that direction. I don't know that I disagree with you in a vacuum. If AI was built for and by the best person who always got the job, but it isn't constructed for or by the best person who always got the job, it's constructed by and for that cheating ass bastard I was just talking about. Now, let's open the floor. What say you? Was welcome in, Kels, Bruce, Zero, whoever wants to chime in on what Johnny was just saying. Feel free, the floor is open, fellas. My question is this. If AI is a threat to mankind, and you see it as such, what is your involvement with it?
I want to say something real quick and I'll fall back. I was in a forum the other day, a CARICOM Caribbean forum, talking about the future and AI and all of those things. And honestly, what people misunderstand about AI is that it's at the stage of where it's taking on input. And if you run away from it and you don't dare to put your inputs into it now, you're going to be marginalized in the future. And that's what people are missing out about it by being fearful on it. It's only at the level where it's being developed, and in its development, it's taking in input. When it's really the shit, if you haven't added all of these dope ass ideas you talking about, or your point of view into the mix, you're going to be marginalized, because it's not even going to think on your behalf. It's not going to think about, it's not even going to consider you. And that's where it's bad to run away from it.
Exactly. That's what I try to tell people all the time. We're at such early stages in it where you can damn near make your own AI to combat the stuff that you're afraid of. You get what I'm saying? So like, if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, never before in history have we had an opportunity to get in on the ground floor. You know what I'm saying? We at the we at the Tesla mark right now. So like, you know, if you get in there and add your 2 cents and add your ideas and your ideology, you can actually be a part of a whole pivot or a change. But if you just,
how do we get in there?
If you fearful, you and run away from it, you know, you ain't, you know, you're gonna be sorry in the end.
I know Chat GPT got like where like you can learn certain prompts and stuff like they got all types of little classes on Chat GPT on like how really Chat GPT works. And then like yeah, you know, just learn it, man. Like that's one thing I can say. I'm not the most tech savvy guy, but you know, that's how I got my little avatar right there. My avatar is made from AI. You know? So like, yeah. AI is not a bad thing. It's just how you use it, man. It helped me get through a whole lot of this stuff. I wrote up a couple of my papers and stuff like that with AI, so it's pretty cool, man. Like I ain't got nothing against AI. I just feel like people shouldn't stray away from it. I feel like people should probably like just look into it a little bit more. You get what I'm saying? Because it's something for everybody in that motherfucker, for real. Don't be afraid of it. That's all I can say. Are y'all muted?
Or whatever. You're taking in some information. You're not putting in information.
There we go. Okay, hold on.
I just want to know how we kind of get to the putting in our information.
Okay, who is that?
That's Kels. You already know.
Oh, Kels, what's up, young man?
What up, bro?
Look here, don't just come up in here like you've been up in here. What's going on, brother? How are you?
Nah, yeah, I haven't, man. I've been catching it. I see you change up the format, so.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here. Let me deal with my thoughts on Brother Johnny and AI.
Got you.
What you just did, and I'm glad this helped you. AI helped you with your paper. But what you just did was informed AI willfully on exactly at what scholastic level and what time and in what fashion that you personally frustrate.
What's the difference? But good question though. What's the difference between me telling my assistant something about my life, or my assistant being around me in the same capacity as AI?
Here's the difference. Here's the difference, if I may. Hold on. You certainly may after I answer that question. Here's the difference. Your assistant, unless she is working for the CIA and is an android herself, is not at the speed of light cataloging what it is you do and don't know, where you are from, at your age and schooling level, the level of every school that you went to in comparison to the levels of schools in other nations, in comparison to 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, or 1 million men. Hold on, 1 million men around you, how you think, how you move, and in an instant. There's no human assistant that is doing that.
I beg to
differ. You use Google Maps, right?
I beg to differ because
you use Google Maps, right? Google Maps knows every move. If you got a cell phone in your pocket right now, and you Google, which all of us, we don't even know where we go no more. We just Google like we like where we going.
No, that's not all of us.
Well, most of us.
But I think
and that's apples and bowling balls.
Hold on. Let's rewind a bit because I wanna talk about the engineering of it, because if we get into semantics and we're not understanding the engineering. When Kels came on, he was asking about the input, and I'm explaining to you why it's at a stage of input right now.
Yes, sir.
It's called deep learning. It's not what people think. It's not full out AI. What it's doing right now is it's acquiring information. Now, in response to what Jeff is saying, we're already at that stage where the information is out there. If you use Google, internet, anything to relay any type of thoughts or papers, that information is already out there. All that Chat GPT is doing is it's putting it into one central space. Now, why it's important for you to get involved with it is because if you don't, only a small group of people are going to be controlling those central spaces. Right now, it's Wild Wild West. It will work better and it will be set up for humanity if it was more of us involved with it, doing different things with it. If there's a small group of people who are governing it and guiding it and making it, do the specific things they want to do, and then all the rest of us are not getting involved with it and making innovations with it, and it's at the programming level right now. It's not at the level where it's like in full control and it's ready. It's learning from you. Everything that's being input, everything that you extract out of it are things that everybody who's involved with it are putting into it. It has limitations. You understand what I'm saying? Like I deal with a lot of I deal with a lot of natural data. I'm a ranger, so what we do is we collect geo intelligence, right? And that geo intelligence is gathered from all over the world, right? So there's databases that know how many birds are existing, how many monkeys are existing, how many trees, how much carbon is being pulled out of the atmosphere, as opposed to how much carbon is being put into the atmosphere. And these are data sets and inputs that we as rangers are inputting because we're out there in the bush and counting. I'm here in Belize and I'm taking data sets and putting information into the geospatial intelligence. People over in Thailand are putting information into that intelligence. So it's like, if we weren't adding that right now, you wouldn't be able to access that information from Chat GPT. It's important. So we're developing softwares and all types of interfaces and ways to extract that data that's actually being used in Chat GPT now. And what's also happening is that as we're developing that, if we're smart, we're holding the patents, and these are things that we can develop out later on to be a great use to like research centers, to universities, all types of things. Right now, this is where you're supposed to get in. You're supposed to get in on the ground floor with this. Now, what people are fearing, they're thinking that it's just going to do all your thinking for you, and that's not how it works. You understand what I'm saying? It has to pattern itself off of human thought and human intelligence before it can, flow and be in actually be in a situation where it's in full control.
Just say Terminator. You can say Terminator. It's okay.
Yeah, before Terminator. Let's say Skynet.
But what about Boston Dynamics and AI though? Like what about when they use that though?
Well, that's what I was explaining. That's what I was explaining to you right now. Those are the negative entities that are involved with it. Yeah. And if you don't get into it right now and put some Jedi light into it,
I don't. Yeah, that's what Zero is saying. If you got if you got 1 million white people, or let's say it's 100,000 racist people on Chat GPT saying niggas bad, niggas bad, niggas bad, niggas bad, niggas right. Niggas bad, niggas bad. And ain't no niggas on there to be like, no, we not. We playing basketball. We ain't even got nothing to do with this. Like,
right. Just think about what AI thinks about black people right now.
Okay, hippity hop, mob, stop. Here's number one, and shout out to Brother Bruce who chimed in with the words Terminator. I thought he was going to go in a different direction, but who we sound to me like are the people on both sides of the apes in Planet of the Apes at the beginning.
Yep.
That's who we sound like to me. What I am saying is simply this, that whole inform AI about you on your own to make sure that it gets your opinion of life and your opinion of you, it already has. AI already has A Great and Mighty Walk by what's my man's name? Was narrated by Wesley Snipes. John Henry Clark. AI already has the complete works of W.E.B. Du Bois. AI already has everything you already have and already has everything that you think white supremacy is going to put in it. AI's problem is not with white supremacy or you. AI's problem is with mankind. And that supersedes this white supremacy shit. And that's what I don't think people are looking at here.
Well, let me chime in real quick, right? So the fourth industrial revolution is this, right? Because this is what people are not really looking at, or why it's important to combat, to get in there and add information into the matrix right now. The fourth industrial revolution is based on pharmaceuticals. That's why certain people, if you look at the way things are happening in social status in the United States, certain people are having more power over the talking points. Certain people are having more power over the governance that's going on, and you can't figure out why do those certain people have power. The reason is because the fourth industrial revolution is this. They want to bring in pharmaceuticals. They want to bring in implants. They want to bring in all types of things. Now, what I want to explain to you is, as a conservationist and as a person who's out here actually collecting data sets and fighting on the front lines of like saving the rainforest, because that's the oxygen that you breathe. If we're not out here doing that and activating and interacting with ChatGPT, we will be ran over, because all it will be about is the dystopian society. They wouldn't even be considering plants, animals, biological life in the future. Right now, when you actually think about the future, all the pictures they show you is some robotic shit. You don't see trees, you don't see water, you don't see fresh air. You know, they're telling you where they're trying to take it. And
To
right
the
now is the
aftermath.
time.
Yes, all you
Right,
see
right. And right now is the time to make it where that's what they want to make it. It's not just about racism. It's these industrialists who want to take it to that stage, because scarcity gives them power over minimal resources. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, I don't
Now,
know
if
that I
we
have hold on a second.
They're gonna get that information no matter what.
I don't know that I have that as an argument. I absolutely agree that there is that in the words of Prince, evil incorporated, dropping bombs and things. I got a young child. I got a lot to explain. You will not get argument from me that Evil Incorporated is not in full goddamn swing. Yes, there is a move to bring about, like I said, and bear with me, guys. I too am trademarking in the name of the show Giraffeballz, as I am high right now. There is. Look at the benefits of this. You see how we're going through all of this fucking financial hell as common people right now. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, in all the big cities, the best properties are being gentrified. Mm-hmm. In the ghettos. Mm-hmm. Construction is booming. It is because, in my opinion, what big cities are about to become, if this plan goes unfettered, big cities are about to become these sprawling metropolises of convenience and technology and affluence. And everywhere else, beyond the Thunderdome, niggas.
Well,
in
that's
that,
why
this
that's
hold on.
Uh-huh.
In that, and this is to co-sign what you're saying, and
Mm-hmm.
how a dystopian reality works for Evil Incorporated. It
Mm-hmm.
does, because this dystopian reality we speak of, in that, however it is, these people got underground bunkers for nuke shit. They got a plan to leave here and go to Mars and leave your ass here. Oh, they got plans for whatever happens horrible. So if they can manage a dystopian reality with no middle and a future bliss by getting rid of 2/3 of you, by poisoning you with chemicals, and sure, I see where all of this works for the powers that be. My problem is, I believe so does AI.
And that's what I'm here to tell you. I know the design of AI. I deal with it. It's not at that level. See, what it is that these dystopian movies got us thinking that they're way more ahead and way more powerful. And what people are overlooking is that there are white hats on the ground fighting a good fight. It's not over. You understand? It was supposed to been over if it wasn't for people on the ground that are disrupting what the people that are trying to bring in the dystopian reality are trying to do. And you can only do that at the programming level. Now I'm gonna break something down to y'all. Neo was a programmer. And this is what people don't realize. He wasn't just some regular nigga off the street who didn't understand the architecture of the Matrix, didn't understand the coding. The only reason that he got conscious is because he understood what it was that he was looking at. You understand? And he wasn't just, at first he was in there going off of just anything, wilding and losing. You understand? When he started thinking about what it was that he knew how to do, which was code, he reached into the code and changed the code. Now, why do you think they block so many of us away while there's a technology gap? Now, something I want to explain to you that a lot of you might not be aware of, just like they're doing all of the evil that they're doing, there's some dope ass shit that's happening. Indigenous people are governing themselves. They raising money that they could never raise before amongst themselves, because they're developing programs and decentralized sustainable developments and things like that. This is something that people don't understand. They don't have to go beg to an organization that's going to make them have to submit to LGBTQ to receive the money. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot going on out here when you're actually involved in the code, involved in the technology, and doing things on the ground level yourself that can actually make the change. You understand? So that's all I'm saying. I'm saying everybody there, your perspectives are dope, but in order to really speak on it, you got to understand how the technology is working. Boston Dynamics, yeah, that is the problem. That's the enemy. That's the military industrial complex. But there's a whole nother complex that's going on out here where there's circular, something y'all need to look up. Circular economists, circular reasonists. These are people that are dealing with ecosystems and are trying to maintain and build the technology based off of biomimetics and the ecosystems, as opposed to human-centric technology. And that's where the war is. You got ecocentrism, which is real. That's reality. That's balance. Then you have human centrism. That's the delusion most of us live in, because we think that humans is the center of the universe. Now, if humans perish tomorrow, all of this shit is going to thrive. When it was the COVID, everywhere where people was poisoning the water, you saw the waters becoming clean. Over in where's the little place in Italy where they be moving around on the little gondolas with the sticks and stuff? All the water over there got clean. Dolphins started coming back. All of that. So that's telling you that human centrism is the problem. Now, what there's a fight going on. A lot of us as soldiers where we're mixing the technology with the ecosystems and basing it on ecosystems, and we're fighting a serious war that combats what it is they're doing. Y'all was supposed to be done.
Which complex you think is gonna win though?
What you mean? Like, you better believe in yourself. We playing chess. If you asking a question like, I'm like, look, this is not to say nothing bad to you, brother, but shit like that to me, that's some sucker ass shit. I ain't even thinking about that. I'm warring, because if I don't war, it's done. I'm
saying the
participating.
Boston Dynamic shit versus this whole eco thing.
Right, but what I'm telling you is you if you're thinking you already lost. And nothing I'm telling you, if you asking me that question, ain't nothing I'm gonna tell you, because I told you a lot. Ain't nothing I'm gonna tell you.
I know you say a lot.
Gonna answer that question, because it's all about what you believe. I told you what it is, and you're gonna have to pick a side, and you're gonna decide to go to war, and you're gonna go to win. You're gonna play the game of chess just like we were just witnessing for like 3 minutes, and you're gonna play it to win. If you asking a question like that, you're not playing to win. You already know you're gonna die if you don't do nothing, so you better do something.
I feel that.
And that's where I'm coming from with it. Like, we can philosophize forever about what we think it is, and we're gonna miss out. It's war. It's boots on the ground right now, and that's what I'm telling you. The ecocentric movement is big, man, and I'm telling you that the reason why y'all not done and hung up, you know how they used to hang meat up on hooks and shit, just to once they dressed it up and dried it. The reason why y'all not hung up on hooks already is because there's been minds, white hats, people in the technology fighting what the dystopian realists want to make come true. If they wasn't out here fighting, you would have been done. You would have been done 50 years ago. Think about it. Vietnam, you would have been done. They had missions when everything that you've seen them do throughout history was based on the mission for them to create scarcity and gain full control over the limited resources that's left off of the scarcity that they make. That's why they went into the jungle, dropped napalm, burned all the food up and shit like that, so that they can control the limited resources in the end. Okay. It wasn't about them killing individual men. It was about resources.
Let's stop
They're
there.
telling you that.
Hold on. Yo. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. All right. Let's back up.
Writing shit down,
dude, I didn't look here. Zero is a master.
I'm passionate
Jedi.
about this shit because I do it. I'm just letting y'all know, like, we can't be asking, like, you have to pick your side and roll.
Okay,
right
I
now.
got you. Hold your thought. Hold your passionate thought. Hold your passionate thought. I got you. What I'm to co-sign what you are saying is, and I think that's what hit the knee-jerk reaction to the question there, Brother Kells, is something that's trained in you as Marines. I can promise you that there were no Marines on any of those planes during 9/11. None. There's no Marine I respect that would have died in his seat. Okay, this motherfucker's going down. I'm going to factor that in and get some blood on my face. I think, and what Zero is saying is that the pistol has already gone off, the bell is already rung, the war cries are going on all around you. We literally, as A, first and foremost, as a race of people, and B, as a human race,
a species,
if you will, versus half of humanity, or more than half of humanity, being in a trance put over them by a tiny, tiny bit of humanity. And those of what is that?
Yeah, one more.
Okay, somebody get your life. Somebody get your life. Humanity is in a fight, A, for its species survival, and B, for its survival as human beings outside of the bondage of a tiny group of human beings, if that makes any sense. And we need to be in that fight, I believe. Now, I'll open the floor back up. What's on your minds, fellas?
Indeed, so we need to be in that fight now, and in any way that we can. And you don't get into it if you running away from and fear. Like, and another thing I want to let y'all know too, right? Because I'm gonna tell y'all a little something about your man. I the work I do is DOD clearances, right? And I'm gonna tell you the straight up truth, right? A lot of this bullshit that y'all getting about fearing the thing is straight up psyops, man, to keep you from engaging in it, and you falling right into it. The movies that have been out, all of this stuff think about it, man. They want you wouldn't even think it was hard to make the fight if you didn't see about 10 Terminators to scare the shit out of you. One thing I want to let you know is they are never as advanced as what they're trying to put through to us, yo. There's still a fighting chance. There's shit going on, but understand this, man. That shit is just like basically hopping around. They don't have no control over it. It's still fucking them up. I have in-depth knowledge and knowing that scientists is dying while they playing with that shit.
Oh, so you like in Iron Man, the scene where
exactly
Sam Rockwell had the test, and Tony Stark was in court, and the robots was ripping themselves apart.
Exactly. And that's all I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Don't feed into the psyop, man. For real. That's how they've had us by the balls for years. The shit that they feed us and make us fear, and we running away from science, technology, engineering, and math. If we would have just went on what our ancient ancestors was on and moved the way that we supposed to naturally move in the George Washington Carver type mode, we would already been on some supreme shit.
Like I tell people, it's enough kids playing basketball. Why kids need to figure out how to make EMPs or something. But I have a question then.
All right.
My good sirs.
Yeah.
So you brought up the Matrix, and the lesson I got out of the Matrix was that Neo wasn't as important as Smith was. Like, Neo wasn't the savior. He was, if Neo was the savior, when he met old Whitebeard told him, "You ain't the first one. You're whatever number of ones that you are. You're an anomaly that I can't get rid of, but I squash you all the same. You go into the system and y'all regurgitate all the same. You're going to happen regardless. One of you are going to pop up regardless, no matter how perfect the equation is. It's going to happen. And a percentage of you are going to defect regardless. No matter how perfect it is, it's going to happen." The thing they didn't account for, from my recollection, was Smith. Once him and Neo merged and he broke loose of his programming and he went rogue, then everything they were doing became a problem. because when Zion was trying to fight, he was like, this is like the 12th time y'all have done this, and every time y'all do it, we get better at squashing it. Y'all think y'all get better at fighting, but you don't, because you don't even remember what happened last time, but we do. So we're going to squash that. That's no problem. The problem came when Smith decided he was going to run everything, or nothing was going to exist.
That's very deep. And I'm going to tell you why that's very deep. Because you're having massive movements right now of people who are leaving the military, leaving the reservations, leaving the system to battle against the system. People that was gung-ho about the system, that believed in the system, that was dogs of the state, and they actually hands-on seen the fucked upness. And now those are the majority of your white hats that are on the ground. You wouldn't even know information that you know if it wasn't for people leaking and putting out info, you know, that from the inside. So to me, that what you're saying is dope, because yeah, Smith, if the people on the outside, the organic energies is not fighting, the people on the inside that's fighting on behalf of the system will never see that there's another reality. And I know that. I woke up. I did some dirty shit for
in the name of this
for
nation.
God and country. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, and the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing now is because I don't have a lot of time to balance shit off. I was just going off for orders then. I'm my own man now. So as I can think as my own man, I got to put energy into something that's going to work against when I was just walking around like a sir, yes, sir drone, killing up everything moving. And that's what's happening. You know, those are your Smiths. It's some deep shit going on, like deep disclosures going on. And you would never know nothing about it if it wasn't just for people just getting brave. You know, like the dude, Snowden has been over there in Russia, you know what I'm saying, for some time. You have no idea. If you're not in this realm, you have no idea the data that was released, the enlightenment that was released from the shit that he dropped. Julian Assange, the enlightenment that was released. How many people turned around and started rebelling against the system that was a part of it, because it was so compartmentalized. None of us actually knew what the other units was actually doing. We didn't know the overall plan till we got the information outside of the intelligence networks that we was feeding off of.
You ever seen a movie called Cube, or like the third Cube or something? It was a stupid movie, but basically they engineered this Rubik's Cube and they put people in blocks, and every block had traps or poison, or it was something to kill you, and there was only one way to get out as the Rubik's Cube moved. And one of the engineers got trapped inside the cube, and he was like, I remember this. And when the rest of the people that was in the movie found out, they were like, well, how the hell did you make this and not recognize your baby? He was like, I made a part of this. They didn't tell us the whole. We knew to do this one thing and get the fuck on. That was it. We don't know. I made rails. Like, that's all I knew. I made big ass rails. That's all they told us. And another guy made this part. My guy made this part. But you couldn't put it together how you were doing it. And I'm sure by the time anybody would figure it out, like close enough, when they were done, they were dead.
Well, the baby said there is no spoon, and that's what we should focus on right there. Yeah, it ain't no left, ain't no right. It ain't none of that. And the compartmentalization is how they use us, by making us believe that there's a left, right, up, down, all of that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of what we seeing, it ain't even real.
Let me I'm a co-sign that. And shout out to Zoe Williams, who says that I often reverse agree. I agree with you with this stipulation. I believe that there absolutely is a left, a right, an up, a down. And these are the little boxes that the power elite use to control the contents of the toy box. That there's this big toy box we're all in, or fish tank, or any collection of what it is that an overlord would enjoy. We are all a part of it, but we think that we are grand parts of something that is much larger than what it actually is in the eyes of the in the eyes of the oppressor, in the eyes of Evil Incorporated. They need you to believe, or let me correct that, they need you to believe that your specific box is in danger, your specific box is shrinking, your specific box is being attacked. And if they shake all the boxes, they get the people in the boxes to not notice the power that comes down when they all jump out of the boxes and swim down like the fish in Nemo. When everybody swims down, this shit doesn't work.
That's oh my God.
So
my favorite thing that y'all been saying for the last couple months, Unc said, was thought trees. Well, you said they will send you a thought tree, and whichever one you bite on, it's whatever one you bite on. It's so many different problems that you got that you might. It's the one you care about that they just waiting for the one you care about to distract you, so you can go and fight that dumbass fight that has nothing to do with what's really going on at all whatsoever.
So check this, because we talking about thought tree. This is dope right here. Really vibe on this, Jedis, right? Check this, right? So their problem, see, the shit that they're most highly concerned with is what you should be focused on. See, and I'm gonna tell you what their problem is, and when you really think about what I'm saying, you're gonna be like, damn, their problem is nature, because everything that they trying to do will not hold up to nature. They have to desertify and create a system that won't overgrow their technology. And that's where the war is. You understand? The war on the ground is that they're trying to neutralize nature in your mind. They're trying to make you believe that no nature exists. They don't want you to connect to it, because all the shit that they're trying to do is threatened by nature. Every bullshit that they drop, you can test it by nature. Any car that you like, throw it out here in the jungle and I'll show you what happened to it in 6 months to a year. Any technology that you're on, put it out here in the jungle and just let it sit, and I'll show you what happens in a few years. Leave a house, you understand what I'm saying, without no people in it or none of that, and watch what happens in a few years. That's to show you, that's why they have this word called sustainability, right? They're trying to figure out how to sustain their power. It don't really have nothing to do with us living. We should be thinking about continuity. Their word is sustainability. They're trying to sustain their power. You understand? And the only way they can do that is by neutralizing nature, which is the highest threat. Now I gave you some jewels right there, some serious jewels. That's the shit that they're concerned about. That's why they go against it. That's why they don't care if the oil busts open in the ocean, or the forest is getting cut down and the temperatures are rising and shit. They're trying to create scarcity. And if you let them, that's what's going to make them win. Your only battle right now is preserving nature. You understand? You got to preserve your food, water, clothing, shelter, your ability to be sovereign. At the point where you don't do that and you stand fast on that, you know, you're done. The strongest forces in the military, the biggest manual, the most money is put into logistics, how we can maintain ourselves for a long period of time, fighting a war or fighting against people or doing whatever. At the point where there's no logistics, we was in Iraq when we couldn't get vests and shit like that, and morale goes down, and motherfuckers start dying more and more. They start losing. That's what happened in Vietnam. That's why I bring it up, because it's specific things you need to study as a warrior. For real, if you're a black man and you saying you're going to war against this, it's certain campaigns that you need to study wholeheartedly, for real, to really see what the fuck is going on and how certain battles and conflicts was won.
They only win. Evil only wins when good men do nothing.
Sure. And I think what you're witnessing, gentlemen, and to get this back on its original road, to get back all the way back to my man, and sit tight there, Roguish Son. I'm gonna bring you right in. And Lord Greg, you bruh, yes, you sir. In here, but you ain't said shit.
Shit, I'm listening to this shit, man.
Okay, well, man, feel free to chime in, make yourself known. I want to hear from all you brothers, man.
I appreciate you, brother. You know what I mean? The very first time I seen you on the Zoe Williams show, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Well, now I'm gonna invite you back. You're always welcome. But I need you to look on the screen. One of these things is not like the others. You got to when you lay in the cut, you got to dress up.
I mean, goddamn. I mean, get you. Everything going in well. You know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck to comment on.
No, I'm talking about you. Get your avatar game together, Cat Daddy. Get you something. You look at yeah. Let me rock the goddamn avatar fashion show real fast, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, rounding us out is myself, the Red Hulk, until my man Zero's dude Zoe hooks up the thing we working on, which is dope. Next up is my man Johnny West. Johnny West is sporting an AI, a Johnny West conceived, AI executed avatar, which is some kind of very regal, eagle, bird, beakish, light-skinned dude from the West Side, kind of sort of thing that I'm getting down with. Next up is Brother Bruce, who is on some serious anime. This dude will sincerely fuck you up over anything type shit with something about to bite him in the neck. Zero, rocking the two swords, looking like a hornet that ain't taking no shit. Check out my man Roguish Son. Roguish Son that came in here dapper like a spring day with the hat and the polo shirt, real nice. And then bringing up the rear, God damn it, it's Lord Greg, just plain, just shit. That's what I'm saying, brother. Get it tight, tighten it up. Get you something, man. Put you something on next time you come up in here. You welcome to stay, but that's gonna be the new thing. It's a new policy. If you come up here to talk and you ain't got no fly ass avatar, I'm gonna clown you. But this I put on the minds of all of us, gentlemen, as we get back on the road, which was for my man Andrew Tate and the bloody beat down he put down on this broad Lucy Williamson of the BBC. What you are seeing, to co-sign what Brother Zero is saying and opening our minds to, is that the bad guy ain't winning like you think. And I've often said that it's going to get a hell of a lot worse before it gets better, but it's going to get better like you've never seen.
Ooh, nice one. Nice one. An exponential better.
Who is that?
Roguish.
Oh, Rogus. Okay, expound, man. Take the ball, run.
I mean, it's like you said, it's going to get better, but it's going to be a different quality of better. It's going to be a better that's better for you.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, when it comes to Tate, he's standing on a square that I think, okay, one, a lot of folks think is controversial, but it's not. It's very holistic, I believe, because it's very practical. But in the sense of it, I think what makes him dangerous is that it's practical in the sense that it's framed from engaging with his system. You know what I'm saying? As far as it goes with the values that he sets upon himself, things connected to himself, and I guess the roles of men and women within society. Well, that's this society. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to be going off of the measurement of, you know what I'm saying, those values.
Come on now. Come on, hit them with the real talk then, if you're going to talk about it. If we're going to go with this society.
Right. That's this society, not just what's best for a society. So yeah, he's shaking up some things, but I think he's primarily shaking up things that has more of a westernized dynamic to it, because things that aren't Western, they already pretty much operate as such. You know what I'm saying? Sons, the ego, or you know what I'm saying, the need of making your presence known for the such a stance is already in there in other people's cultures, as far as it goes with you know, they don't have to take a stance on their manhood. But in the West, yeah, you got to, because feminism, which is the coldest form of pimping ever in existence, is, you know what I'm saying, is doing this erosion thing that it's doing.
Okay. Now, 110% agreed. I just you just open up a goddamn can of worms there with the concepts of feminism. Feminism, that was that was the
burn the witch. Burn the witch,
brother. There have been 3 apples. God damn it! There have been 3 poison apples fed to the black community. 1, Judeo-Christian religion.
Facts.
That's 1 poison apple. 2, integration.
Ooh, super facts.
3, the feminist movement. And I think the 4th apple, or the 4th horseman of our apocalypse, the crack epidemic, stands by itself. It stands by itself.
Yeah.
Those are the 4
what
apples.
softened them up. That's what softened them up for feminism.
No. First,
the crack epidemic softened the black woman up for that, because they wasn't going for feminism.
Wait a minute, brother. Brother, are you serious? That you don't remember the 70s? Have you done some?
yeah, but what I'm saying is,
take the chain off your brain, John Henry.
Listen,
you remember that?
Let me say this though. I lived through the 70s, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of that shit that was in media wasn't everyday life. You understand what I'm saying? Sisters, they really went off track when that crack softened them and fucked their minds up. And that's real. Because then they had to go back to depend on the system to get back right. And what was it? What was the what did they have to sign on to for that system to make them right? Feminism, welfare, all these different things. You understand what I'm saying? Now I get what
you say. Get back right. Right. What is considered the right state that they were assisted at reattaining?
Where there was at least some semblance of balance between black man and black woman, or where they could at least win amongst themselves and build out of their conundrums. Now that it's barely no hope right now. After the war, after the The crack epidemic is barely no hope right now.
Oh shit!
They was fully indoctrinated. You understand what I'm saying? At least we had contact. Now we don't have no contact. They separated them from us, got them in a little room, started like drilling them with the MK Ultra mind control, and now even though they may not even believe the shit to the core, they gung ho with that shit. It's embedded into them.
They still belong to the state, whether they believe it or not.
Right.
I mean, well, the thing is,
Okay, hold on, no, hold up. I want you to hold that thought right now. And man, I think I see where you're going, Raleigh son. Rogish, I think I see where you're going, brother. And by the way, a couple things I want to ask. Is this your first time checking out the show? And B, how old are you?
Nah, no sir, bro. I checked out the show back in the day when you first started Giraffeballz, and you let me know on those Zoes joint, and I tried to purchase a beat from you one time. You know what I'm saying? But you super busy, because I know you're a fellow funketeer. So
you know what, bro? Get back at me right now, because what was happening was learning to juggle my think of my writing career as a bowling ball. This is why I've had to put Giraffeballz now, because I'm working on a couple of television ideas with DL. Okay. I've had to put that on hold. Now I have a music career that's a chainsaw. I had to throw that up in the air while I toss and catch this shit with DL. But now I got my music in full swing, bro. I'm placing music in. Very soon you'll be hearing my shit in commercials, more in video games. I'm in my music gear right now. Forgive me. Let's go. And the creator, please don't take none of this shit away from me, but I'm gonna have
already.
Why in the fuck am I about to say this dope shit with your here? Let me put my shit up there if I'm gonna say some dope shit. Okay. I am so thankful to the creator that I have this gift of articulation and this gift and a curse of foresight and this almost Rain Man-ish desire for detail and the gift of comedy and the gift of drumming and the gift of singing and working on the gift of bass playing and producing and there's a book and
there's a high vibration, man. You can't look once you start vibrating higher, anything that you dive into you're going to become a master at it.
Yeah, bro. And so I'm saying all that to say that like cats like Cedric the Entertainer, DL, what's my man's name? Eddie Griffin. Them dudes go out on the weekend and hunt a buffalo and bring it back. Me, I'm hunting down 100 squirrels. I'm hunting 100 squirrels. So
yeah, they're varmint hunting.
I'm a squirrel hunting ass right now. I'm gonna pull in a buffalo, bro. But right now, we eating squirrel around this motherfucker. There's plenty of them.
Yeah, you go.
There's plenty of them. I'll make a squirrel suit in a minute. I got a squirrel mittens. I got a squirrel bathrobe. I got a bunch of squirrel shit here. I got squirrels. But I got to go over here and do some. Then I got to go over here and do some. Then I got to decide what week am I going to ignore everything and just write my book.
Yeah.
What week? 1 week a month I ignore all my shit for one of my things. For music, you're in luck. Next week I'm ignoring everything for music. I'm just gonna do Giraffeballz and I'm gonna do the First Church, and then everything else will be devoted to the production of, the sale of, the mixing of music. That's it. And it's a motherfucker, but that means I have to tell I have to not find time to write one sheets that are due for 2 different production companies on 2 different ideas of mine that I've had meetings on already.
Okay.
So I get that busy, man, to where I'm at the point where I need 2 assistants, but I can barely afford one every now and then.
And an Adderall prescription.
And yes, shit. So yes, hit me, bro. You got the email. Ask. Jeffrey's Music.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just hit me again and let's start the process over. Forgive me.
Will do.
Now,
no worries.
With that out of the way, now how old are you?
44.
44. You are by default going to have, and this is fuck it, we just gonna go long because this is a dope ass conversation about this. I gotta figure out Zero how I think I can. I'm just gonna click between the 2 of you to where and we just doing some production notes right now, fellas and people watching. When we cut this later, I want to be able to go back and forth between the 2 of you discussing when the black woman kicked us in the nuts, which is basically where y'all are different on the kick in the nuts timeline, and I want to get that straightened out.
Yeah.
And when I go back, which is what I'm going to title this, the kick in the nuts timeline will be.
I only differ where the kick in the nuts.
Okay. No. Don't say it.
Okay.
Don't say it. I'm setting this shit up, Zero, so we got shit to edit. Okay.
All right.
Because every now and then, when y'all say something, I want to pop in. We're gonna edit this later to where I have your everybody's avatar. That's the importance of having your goddamn avatar there, Lord Greg. Okay, I need something Lordish or Gregish. Goddamn it, this is the last time. Next time, if you come up in here, I'm gonna throw your ass out. Everybody know it's a dress code now. Lord Greg is the last one who will be able to violate the Giraffeballz / First Church dress code. You got to have a funky ass avatar to be in here. Now, you find you one because it's artful. It looks good when we do it later. It only makes your shit look better. Now, what I'm saying is that between you, when we edit this, I'm gonna have everybody's piece up here where when you talking, it'll be easy to edit the circle that's going round and round on the outside. That's easy. But we'll have it. And between you, when you say something, I'm gonna pop in with "oh shit" and then pop back out. and
already.
Okay. So with that set up, I want you, Brother Rogish, to go back over what it is that you were saying about where the feminist thing came off the rails.
Right.
Just run like a fat retarded kid till you're out of breath. Just run. Just go.
Well, I mean, with respect, appreciate the hospitality. Thanks for the sharpening. Shout out to the Giraffeballz crew, family, respect to y'all. I think where it started at was one, you got to identify the power of feminism, right? I didn't know feminism in the 80s, right? But I did notice that women were doing a certain type of archetypal perspective with viewing us and viewing black men. That's when you heard black men ain't shit. You know what I'm talking about? If y'all ever heard that in the 80s, black men ain't shit, black men ain't shit. All right, so you hear it so much and you hear it so flippantly. And the reason why I knew it was flippantly because I'm dark skinned. So you hear how black people got issues with dark skinned folks flippantly. Oh, you black, blah, 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 blah. It's like, all right, so they got an issue with color. All right, and they got an issue with black men. All right, then. So what did we do? What did we do? Right? It's the 80s. So you ain't nothing really came up. So you look back in the history. And I was a child that studied quite a bit. And so you study the 70s, and all right, well, this was a time to where it looked like black people were fighting together, and not just white folks or anything, but they were fighting apathy. They were They were self-defining themselves through their classification of blackness. It was becoming a cultural thing. All right, then, well, and black is beautiful. Black is beautiful, and it's like, all right, then. But then remember, it's the 80s. I'm watching my mama put all kind of creamy crack in her hair, and watching her and her family members, what I'm saying, have these parties, jerry curl and all this other stuff. So it's like, all right, well, I like my fro. What I'm saying, I got a fro. Well, why don't they like theirs? Why don't they wear theirs? So then you start looking into, well, there was a shift somewhere. Where does the shift come in? In the 80s, it looked like there's a little bit more imperialization or people enlightening themselves in some type of value or something. And then, all right, look in the 70s, that wasn't there. Everything was us, black, 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 black. All right, so in the middle of there had to be where the break happened. And then in comes feminism. And you see how it shifts the social worth of not only the man, but also the woman's worth unto herself. Hence, John Henry Clark saying that he said he's down for women empowerment and pro woman showing her strength, but why does it need to be anti-man? Well, the fact that they could approach black women with this, right? This isn't a black ideology. You know what I'm saying? This is an outside ideology. Before we put any other color of any other person on it, this is an outsider ideology. All right, so let's put the objectivity to it. This is an outsider ideology while we're subjectively fighting for our right to exist, our right to live, our right to be, as we wish to, define ourselves.
Okay, good. Now, okay, that's a good spot. I was about to overshoot the runway. Glad you landed the plane right about there. Okay, Brother Zero, your response to that.
All right, I'm gonna need some participation right here because I got a couple of questions. Right, I'm gonna zero in.
Keep your response to the question as tight as you can.
I'm gonna zero into why the black man ain't shit and why that was uttered from the mouths of many women who were existing, scratching, and surviving in the 80s. All right. So Jeff.
Yeah.
60s and 70s, right? Mm-hmm. How many black businesses was on the scene? All black businesses. How much black economics was rocking in the 60s and 70s?
I grew up in I was born in 65. So I'm gonna say I started to make notice of what is black commerce when I was about 9 or 10 years old, and I can honestly say I saw more of it then as a kid than I do now.
All right. So would it be fair to say that in you witnessing this black commerce, that was the leadership of the black man, right? The majority of the black commerce. Okay.
Oh, right. Sure. I can. You mean the man was in charge? Sure.
So the reason why in the 80s, black man wasn't shit, you have to ask yourself this question: who strung the mamas out? He might not have known what he was doing, but just like Tate said, in chess, right? When you fuck up, when you lose, it's because you fucked up a move. You understand what I'm saying? So like we like to complain about what they saying, but we're not realizing what opened them up fully to jumping on that boat 100%. Now I'm gonna tell you about feminism and liberalism. Feminism been around for a minute. Margaret Sanger was a feminist. You understand? That's 20s and 30s. You understand? Now, at what point did it jump to where it had a hold of the black woman from the mentality of the white women that was, spewing about suffrage or whatever it is that they was going through and that they was fighting for?
The late 60s and the early 70s, right?
Right. Well, what I'm saying is the shit that opened them up is the drug game, is the niggas that strung them out. The reason why black man wasn't shit all throughout the 80s is because the majority, I got to be honest with you, and niggas don't like this, but it's real. It's because motherfuckers went from strong black power, Black Panthers, to stringing their own women out, to stringing their own youths out, to disappearing. You
The
understand what I'm
entirety of
saying?
the
So
black
now,
community was not on that political perspective of the Panthers. Come on, bro. You're
say
blanketing
say say
something.
again. Say again.
The larger amount of the black community was not dealing with that type of
I'm not
political
saying that they was
perspective.
just on the Panthers, but they was on black leadership, whether it was business in the mainstream, the average everyday business of black leadership, or the Black Panther, which was considered radical. It was black male leadership. You understand what I'm saying? It was evident where it wasn't in the 80s. You understand? Because a lot of the black male leadership, and it's just real, dog. You gotta be real. If you was there and saw it, you gotta be real with it. A lot of the black male leadership was the ones that strung them out.
Wait a minute,
Was the
bro.
ones that made
Wait.
the mistakes in the chess moves, that made the mistakes in the chess moves that made them lose now.
Wait a minute, bro.
And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying like,
do you see that you're blanketing the
no, I'm not.
entirety of black
You're
male
blanketing
leadership in
because
the
you're
80s
saying that there's a
Okay,
reality.
hold on. Hey, everybody, hippity hop, mom stop. Okay, Zero.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give. Now I'm gonna start looking. I'm gonna give you each a minute because this is some dope shit, and then I got some shit to lay on you both. So
I want to comment too.
Yeah, absolutely, Bruce. Okay, I'm gonna give my man Rogish his last minute here, and I'm gonna give you the last minute, and then after those 2 minutes, Bruce is gonna come in. We're gonna open the floor. We're gonna let everybody get some of this. I'm gonna get in on an old dusty ass, no avatar having ass Lord Greg gonna have something to say. we go. Oh yeah, you gonna get the ride, bro. You go get the ride. You go, yeah, that's it. Either yeah, that's what's gonna happen from now on. If you come up in here with no avatar, you're gonna get the ride. You're gonna take the fucking bumpy ass ride for not having it.
Hey Jim.
Yes, sir.
Jim. I thought we were talking about the little funky little white girl. The one looked like a vampire werewolf from London.
Oh,
that's what I thought we were talking about when I first came in.
Okay, man, it's okay. This is, and I tell you, I'm gonna tell you, and I don't apologize for it, because it makes for dope ass shit. Why do I have him up there? I should be up there right now. This makes for some dope ass shit to cut up later. Is that I kind of fancy Giraffeballz in the First Church as an advanced dojo. The dudes that come and swing swords in here, the cats that hang out in here, are the samurais in the Chinese kung fu movies.
Wuss.
Yes, we are bad motherfuckers in here. If you think about the level we think on, so we move fast. While whatever we was talking about was valid when you first came in, it might not be on the outside when we come out, because we may come out anywhere. This is funky ass free form conversation. Now, if you can find a way to tie us back to, I think you're talking about, funky ass Lucy Williamson that went at my man Andrew Tate. If you can tie us back to that with a legitimate tie, something that would make us ignore the butt naked ass might as well have on some polyester from the 70s avatar you don't have right now. If you can have something that could sway our minds from that, because you can bring us back there, yeah. If not, and I want you to think about that while we do this. Again, I'm gonna give Rogish, if he can remember, a minute to discuss the blanketing of Zero, and then I want Zero to return with his answer. You each have a minute, and then we're gonna bust the floor open. Go ahead, brother Rogish. It's on you.
Actually, I interfered with Zero's point, so I'll defer my time to him.
Okay.
Interjected.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, then, fuck you then. All right, we're gonna go ahead, brother Zero. I mean, brother Zero.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I'm not laying out how I would respond is that it's a blanket to say that we was all on Black power and Black consciousness in the 60s and 70s when I lived through that. And I know that wasn't a fact. You know what I'm saying? I know that everything that looks big in media these days was a small faction when we was coming up. You know, there was things going on. Now, a lot of our judgment is based on music and entertainment. And those are some of the most advanced thought leaders that you can think of. You can't just judge by what they singing in a song or what they laying out in their commentary. You know what I'm saying? The commentary at that time was mixed all the way around the board. And all I'm saying is that I just want somebody to let me know that why the difference from when the last bad motherfucker, James Evans, you know what I'm saying, was across the TV screen holding it down to the point of where it gets to the point of where Black man ain't shit. And I'm just saying there's a reason. And I don't come from a culture where you can blame the women because they the weaker among us. You understand? Somewhere down the line, you know, if you are the leadership and if you saying that you are the leadership, then you know, you gotta take responsibility for being a leadership. And there's a reason why they see us in that light.
All right. Go ahead and respond to that, Rogish. I guess I'm gonna make it 2 minutes because damn zero gives zero.
Hey man, you supposed to be the moderator. I don't know. I ain't watching the clock, brother.
You gotta watch the clock too. You got a minute. Now you done stretched it, so I'm gonna give Rogish 2 minutes to go ahead and do your thing as of now. Go.
All right, respect. So one, ain't nobody blaming Black women. The thing is, you're looking at things from an objective perspective. And so everything that played a factor in influence, be it detrimental or instrumental, you're gonna give an objective look at that, man. You're not really judging anything. You're giving an analysis. But the thing is, people try to fight the judgment as if there's a finger pointing there. It's like, nah. One, let's acknowledge that feminism is the coldest form of pimping ever brought to the history of mankind, because it has these women distorting their own value before they start to distort ours and the families, you know what I'm saying, and familial roles and all that, right? So it's not just a blaming. It's an acknowledgement. One, you got to take your hat off. You know what I'm saying? The pilgrims do know a good brainwashing when they do one. You know what I'm saying? They put in a lot of effort for it, and they've been practicing on their own for a long time. So if it catches Black people in the net, it is what it is. It's just that, all right, if there is something to be fixed, you have to be able to play your part and say, all right, well, this is where I'm out of pocket with it. Not that, you know what I'm saying, you're a bad person for it, because that's what it seemed like these women be trying to avoid. You know what I'm saying, being declared as being this state of a person or this quality of a person for behaving in this type of manner. It's like, all right, well, acknowledge that, you know, they got you under a spell. You're not valuing yourself correctly. You're not valuing those who you say you love correctly, all right, and make the adjustment. And they won't make the adjustment. So it's like, all right, then, well, as things progress and you see how brothers are progressing in an element of when it comes to accountability, ownership, and all that, all right, well, what's wrong with presenting that same thing to the sisters objectively? And when you bring up feminism, I'll end with this. When you bring up feminism, you saw the effect that it had on those who brought it to them. White women maintained their homes, being stark feminists and whatever form that it presented itself as. Black women were the only one that felt they had to actually cut themselves off and turn their man into some type of anemius catalyst for them to wait.
Let's stop you there. That's about 2 minutes. Points both taken. I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna bust the floor open. And I got to pass out a ticket to I don't even know if I I gotta give out a ticket to the Master Jedi, my man Brother Zero, because why in the fuck is it not doing what I want it to do? Okay, I don't want it to do that. I want it to do, all right, you niggas don't make fun of me. I'm goddamn it. I'm 58.
Well, yo, hold on. You're also supposed to be high as Giraffeballz too, right?
I am, sir. Oh shit! Look who went and changed their goddamn clothes. If it ain't Lord Gray, there we go. That's what I'm talking about, Cat Daddy. There you go. Yeah. Now, okay. Now, if I got this motherfucker 0 up here, then I go here and put me there, and then you do. No, it's not working. All right, fuck it. I'm just gonna do it like this then. This is how it's supposed to go, how it has to go. Okay, and I'm glad I'm stepping in right here. Number one, whenever we have a disagreement, especially as a council of all black men. This is fucking dope, by the way. We have to start in the center where we all agree. Wherever that is. We can all agree. We can all agree Whitey ain't shit. We can all agree about the plots to fucking wipe us out. We can all agree that there is another side. We can all agree that there are powers for good that are at work, actively shedding blood at work. We can all agree. We may not all agree on the scorecard, because some of us have a better vantage point than others. We may not agree there. But as we push out to where we don't agree on that filth and froth, we have to understand that disagreement is about what was done to us.
Facts.
And work under the assumption that this shit is so fucked up that there's room for all of you to be right. You realize that? You are both right. That's how fucked up this is. This is so fucked up that brothers did leave sisters and did string them out. Wasn't no white man. This is yeah. Let me now defend Zero's side of this equation, and then I will get back around to your side in just a second, Rogish. I used to do a bit on stage, or I had somebody say this while I was on stage one time in Chicago, because it was mostly black people that came to see me, and there's a few white folks there. And this one brother yelled out, I hate white people. And I said, you know what, bro? Me too. You know the ones I hate the most? I hate the white people that wait till real late at night and come and sneak over here into the projects and get on the elevators and piss in them and bust out all the fucking windows. I can't stand them white people right there. Well, that's the same energy that we are dealing with here with regard to what Zero is saying. It wasn't no white man in a goddamn suit or a hood that strung out most, if not any, black female addicts ever. Black female addicts, sure, you can find the flower child Lisa Bonet-ish in that maybe grew up around people of other color and got strung out with them first. You can find that. But the very bolus of female black addicts was strung out by some black man. That is an undeniable, bruh. How do you get around? There is no hurdling that. that did happen. That it happened. It was a part. But now, in the face of that, I gotta turn right back around, and I gotta defend Rogan's side, which is just as true as Zero side. Brother, here's proof. Here's a cosign of what Rogan said. Everybody can agree that we need Big Mama back, but don't nobody want her job. Black women are insulted by the term Big Mama now. Your Big Mama was not preoccupied with trying to look like one of your aunties. She wasn't. She just fucking wasn't. Her sexuality was not pointed at the world. Big Mama's sexuality was not pointed at the world. Big Mama's sexuality was pointed at Big Daddy.
There you go.
Big Mama's sexuality, Big Mama was clearly off the market. Clearly. We now deal with women who should be Big Mamas who refuse to leave the market, almost like NFL players who should retire that keep showing up to the fucking new combines.
Church.
You 36 trying to run a 40 out here with a 20-year-old? If you don't get the fuck on and start personal training.
There you go. Teach somebody else how to be great.
Thank you. That is what we are dealing with. And those women didn't come from nowhere. There's some ain't shit ass niggas and some ain't shit ass women that got black people in the position that we are.
Right.
That is a zero sum, brother. I cannot just say that every black woman was strung out by every black man. To be honest with you, if I say that, I'm plagiarizing. I'm regurgitating what Brother Minister Farrakhan already said. Brother Minister Farrakhan already done said, everywhere you see a no good black woman, she was made that way by a no good black man. That ain't mine. That's his. But you cannot go, this is the big joker. We are not playing spades. We are in such an ugly game that it is like 52 big jokers against you. That you can pick lead put in the toys that are put in your neighborhoods in the 60s and 70s. You could just pick out of the sky. You are rarely, if ever, going to turn over a rock and find white people steadfastly, secretly at work doing great shit for niggas. Ever.
But are they supposed to though? My issue is, why do people think that they're supposed to?
Well, it's not a matter of what they're supposed to be doing as much as it is a showcase on who these people actually are.
Right.
I can explain a lot more than I can excuse. This again, not to excuse blacks' participation.
Right.
Every sentence uttered about white supremacy that makes any sense must stand on its own merit with no inversion. Ooh, that's dope. It must stand on its own with no inversion first. Examine it first. I have to examine that every black woman that has been strung out was strung out by a black man first. Then, on its own, I must examine roguish point of view on its own. Because on their own, they are so hideous, they have merit on their own.
Right.
So yes, now I open the floor. What say ye niggas?
Okay.
Say ye?
So I want to say the glue between the two. One of the glues between the two on the men's half is between the 60s and the 70s, the leadership, the ones that was really stomped down and really leading, they didn't come back outside once they got locked up or murdered. They didn't get to raise their sons, their communities afterwards. So So when the 60s, when they all dead by the 70s, and people were getting let out, the niggas that got let out they were followers. They were just happy to be out. The niggas that wasn't, the men that were Panthers that was really stomped down about what they was doing, that wasn't sleeping on cots because they didn't believe they were supposed to be in there in the first place. Them men, you don't see them again. They locked up under what the older folks call under the jail. That was a whole other program. So the men the men that got to be out on the street and raise their kids that decided, all right, well, it's better to have some money than no money. I might as well drug somebody up. Those weak men are the men that raised us. That's who we got to be around. That's the men. See, I had my dad. I got to have an actual father. So my father, when I seen sagging, and my dad seen me sagging, and he went, "That's some fag shit that started in prison. So you a fag now?" And no, the hell if I am, and I might be eight years old now. The hell if I am. And then I walk around and I notice that every other boy is sagging. And then it becomes more and more prevalent. And when I tell them, I'm the only one that told them. Your dad is there and he ain't tell you. Why wouldn't your dad tell you that's some fag shit?
Well, let me stop you there. Or let me hop in and co-sign that. I have often said, because I've only had one son try it, and it was my youngest one. That's the I don't know my daddy look. When you see a dude with his pants down below his ass that is older, that is 40 and under, what he is telling you is that he didn't know his daddy.
Or his mama run the house.
Or his okay. I don't know, bro.
I mean, just you could know your daddy and be away from him. It don't even make a difference. Mom run the house. I can do what I want.
Okay. Then you don't really now. Yes. Now we're gonna take the floor with and sharpen swords, there, young Jedi, because I can tell you from absolute experience that such is not the case. Because of my sons, who the older ones, I got it, and I regret that I didn't do more. I got them every other weekend, twice in the summer, 2 weeks in the summer, and whenever I possibly could. Back in the day when I won Star Search and I was on the road a lot, my sons, without question, I was in their life every waking moment that I could, to the point that they spent plenty of time with me to know exactly who I was and exactly how I got down. And
that's what's up.
My ex, bruh, didn't ever have an issue with my daddy ain't around because I'm gonna do this. As a matter of fact, it happened this way. One day she called, "Damn it, I'm tired of it. Get on the phone." She puts him on the phone. She goes, "Julian did this, blah, 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 blah. Patrick did this, I said, "Oh, really? Fellas, is this true? Did you do what your mama said do?" Yes. All right. I'll see you in 45 minutes. "Oh, I told you." I said, "Get him off the phone. I said, now I want you to understand something. This is not the way this is supposed to work. Right. I didn't tell you. I said, here's our problem. You see that shit you told me? I was picking him up this weekend. If you'd have just told me right now, without telling them that this was a problem, I could have talked to him about it this weekend. It wouldn't have been a problem. But now that you've sent up the bat signal, I have to stop what I'm doing, and I have to come out here and whoop these boys' ass so that they understand that there is never a time that you throw up the bat signal and Batman don't show up." Mm-hmm. When you run it like that, my sons understood, brother. That nigga is not fucking around whenever I see him. So I'm not. Oh, you don't. You know your daddy. Your daddy's standing right here. You don't get to wear your pants like that. So
but the caveat to your situation.
Hold on, Brother Bruce. So to finish my disagreement with your point is that if you are sagging in your daddy's absence, then you don't know your daddy. I don't care who run the house. My father, who takes the time to be with me, my father, who I just got back from fishing with, from bowling with, from shooting with, from playing video games or laser tag with, my father said I can't wear my pants like this because a man who I'm modeling myself after my father is what I'm finna do. And I don't give a fuck if I live on Jupiter. This is what I'm seeing because I know my father. Outside of that, you don't know your father.
Okay. So the caveat to your situation and to the majority of the situations that happen like that is the same as the caveat to mine. Your sons did have a bitch ass daddy.
Okay.
You got to understand that once again, when I say the men that came out, at the police, all right, nigga, you safe, you can go. You wasn't doing nothing in the first place. You was handing out lunch bags. You wasn't the mastermind behind the lunch bags. You was just handing them out because somebody told you to. You the janitor. Go.
Right.
You ain't gonna do nothing but make janitor ass kids with no president. So when this woman receives this welfare, because we not gonna give your black ass, your big black ass a job, we gonna give her this welfare and tell her you can't be here. Which when y'all have arguments and you're just a drunk now because there's no Black Panthers, you gonna take this dope with this drunkenness that you already is, and when she gets mad at you and be like, well, you don't pay no bills here, you gonna go outside, take these drugs now, and be like, well, bitch, I got some money, snort this.
Oh shit!
So I say that to say the men that are going to allow the drugs in the neighborhood, dead or in jail. Very few of them got to stay outside. The ones that were obvious opposition and were going to stay that way, dead or in jail. No different than how they call themselves real niggas now. That's a whole nother subject. That they're a whole nother breed, because the ones that the community needed were the men that were standing up actually for the community. They didn't need people that was looking at people down the street and being like they ops just because they live down the street. All of that's some bullshit. The generation before that was like, we gonna all come together and do what we need to do for all of us and put out fires faster than they can spread. Those men, very few of them got to stay outside. So
well, wait a minute, that sentiment was also destroyed within the community. It wasn't just within the men who were taken out. Also, you got to remember that sentiment was viewed as something that was adversarial. I think that's largely where the whole African American name switch came from Black to African American, because it was time for a new brand. And when Jesse Jackson was running, it was like, yo, you can't use black scares people and all that. All right, African American with all this whole bullshit. You know what I mean? So the thing is, the community was no longer that type of community that birthed that style of cat. And when they did, they got quelled, you know what I'm saying, by the community, by the government, whatever, bro.
Okay, I mean, hold on. I need you to hold on for a second, Rogish. Because what you both just did is, it sounds like chapter 15 is that adversary with chapter 16. Because what Bruce described is the chapter right before what you're describing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't disagree. You just can't lay them on top of each other.
Right.
You got to spread them out. You two are describing different pieces of the timeline, and it's odd that, how old are you, Bruce?
34.
Bruce is 34. He's describing the late 60s, early 70s. You are 44?
Right.
And you are describing the 70s through the 80s.
Right.
But you're both right.
That's all I was doing, was gluing zeros and bruhs, I was just gluing them together. What happened in between this and this thing happened And that's the majority of what got let back into the households. That's what came back to the projects. Those niggas, the weakers, the lessers is what I like to call them. The lessers came back to raise families, or so-called raise families, and argue with their women from a non-leadership standpoint. Those men populated and got to have kids, and
the draft dodgers, the Vietnam PTSD affectees. Yes.
So when Zero say, I think it was how Zero was saying, yes, the men sold the drugs to the women. Well, what type of men were they? Those wasn't the men that was knocking niggas out, that was trying to sell drugs at first. At first, you couldn't do that. It wasn't allowed. You can't do this to our people. It's not allowed here,
wait
bro.
a minute. Was all the women on drugs, though? I mean, wait a minute. What the fuck?
No.
Zero's point was...
Here. Both of you stop.
Wow, y'all make it seem like it was wild there back
then. Stop. Okay, hippity hop, mob, stop. You are trying to lay, okay, in order to approach that from where you coming from, Rogish. It's not were all of the women strung out. It is to ask. It's almost like saying, we found the botulism that started the rotting of this egg.
I can do this literally.
Hold on, brother Bruce, hold on.
Let him land.
Let me it's almost like saying the part of this egg. Hold on, brother Greg. The part of this egg that the botulin that rotten the egg started in,
right,
is just this little microscopic speck. So to hit that back with, you trying to tell me the whole egg got botulin in it at one time? No, it didn't. What I'm trying to tell you is that there is a poison that was purposely aimed at a particular oppressed community that the men of that community fed to the women. That's an unarguable point that is outside of the fact that you didn't have to be strung out.
Hey, brother Jeff, can I say something real quick, man?
Sure.
I just want to let y'all understand that I come from a strategic angle. I'm not here to get hung up on. I'm just here to lay out intelligence, briefings, and points so that you'll understand that sometimes the argument that we're making in the now, in the future, don't mean shit if you're losing. You understand? And that's my point. Now, my point wasn't to, you understand? Because I'm learning from the brother Rogish. I'm gonna walk out of this with points and levels of intelligence that I might not have been thinking about. You understand? And I hope it's vice versa. But my thing is this, man, because I'm always thinking about I'm in the combat. I'm thinking about the combat of it, not the history, not the analytics. I'm telling you what I'm telling you about the drug situation and how it opened them up to feminism, because that's a part of the greater strategy. And we losing because we at war with our women right now without really understanding why shit happened the way it happened. There was a time, and I know Jeff remember this time, where women could say all kinds of feminist shit, and if you walk in there smelling good, strong as a motherfucker, representing yourself as a man, she gonna melt in the palm of your hands. And that's real. Right now, the kick in the dick is like niggas' dick don't work no more. You understand? Back in the day, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't so lethal. Right now, the kicks that they giving you in the dick is making it so your shit don't work no more, and all you doing is arguing with them as incels. That's all a part of the greater plan. That's all I wanted to. That was my point. My point wasn't to get into back and forth with Jedis that was going nowhere. My point is, Mace Windu, stay strategic, understand what the strategy is, understand the weapons that was formed against you, and prevail.
Well, I can't. Well, that's a fucking mouthful. As I do every week, I'm kicking all of you the fuck out of here because we'll be here for 5 or 6 hours if I don't. How dope was that? I got a little lost with Brother Zero at the end about the dick kicking and all of that. That didn't. That kind of threw me. I was there with him with how, back in the day, making the women swoon, and then somewhere right after that, some dick kicking ensued that lost me. But for the most part, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and say that I, on the end of it, agree with the dick kicking, but I was kicked in the dick by just hearing it. Hopefully tonight, you come away from this better, stronger, faster. I'm overwhelmed sometimes by the people that show up with the dope shit that we saying. I'm glad to host something like this, and I want my numbers to grow. But I'm most certainly not ashamed that they're small. This is how shit starts. But this is by no means the end of it. Some of the dopest shit, the biggest mind bangers have come out of this show for me. Either saying them or hearing them. And I sure appreciate all of y'all for showing up. The whole point is, and I think the deepest point driven home tonight, is that of Brother Zero. The zombies are headed up the beach. Now's not the time to be discussing when and where the virus started. Something right outside your door wants to eat your face. What are you going to do? It's here to eat your face. Part of it is getting out of the way, which is what I say. To this system falling, easily to this system falling, I say good riddance. Step back and let this look. The roof is on fire. We don't need no water. Let this motherfucker burn. Burn, motherfucker. Burn. Really? Get in here and vote for what? You fucking everybody. And I'm finna protect and provide for and corral me and mine. Stay high in thought. Stay high in deed. Guide your ignorance to your wisdom. Pull out of the gravity of the stupid. Sisters, find your peace. Brothers, find your majesty. It's your Uncle Jeff. I'm out.